Here we go, another big show this week. Sip, tell everyone what we're talking about.
Massive Thanksgiving game. We tune in on prime time for those ones. The Chiefs stay alive to keep it going in the playoff contention, and the Bears and the Eagles should be an absolute ripper.
Absolute ripper. Talk about a ripper. Sanders with the watch. He is back in town. Is he the biggest icon we've seen since Allen Iverson? I'm not sure. Hey, Darnold, revenge game against a team with no quarterback and a huge upset brewing. That's right, I put me plums on the line. The Giants are going to smack the Pats on Monday Night Football. Right here, tune in. Welcome back, everyone. It's the Aces NFL show. Can you believe it, Sip? It's Thanksgiving, week 13. We get 3 absolute firecrackers. We got our 6-leg turkey, bloody same game leg multi, whatever we've called it on the PointsBet app. Obviously, we're powered by PointsBet. And we have the greatest man to ever play the game inside the studio in Aaron Sipos, who needs to get himself a Christmas present. I'll be getting him a nice little watch because he's been very late in the studio today. I tell you what, the boys down there that you're training, they want to be kicking.
Throws me under the bus. You know, the 1 week that I'm actually a little bit late in the year after all this time, mate.
Is that Apple Watch got any batteries in it?
Actually, I think it's dead. Oh, no, it's right on time, mate. Right on time.
I tell you what, Sip, you can do whatever you want because you are tipping the house down as we all are. Last week, put it in the Morgs, put it in the books. Week 12, the boys come good. What about last week? Seeing them like beach balls.
Oh, about time. Better late than never, isn't it? No, we had some good matchups, and we've been dialed in. We just haven't been able to really just smash it. And last week was a very, very good week for us.
It was. You had your special get up, about $4.
Yeah, I got to do what I got to do, mate. Yeah.
As I said, left a lot of meat on the bone with the players. So if you took those players and extended them, you're laughing. And then I had an $18 scare. Anyone that got on there and had a little play on my best, I needed Caleb Williams over rushing, and he was over 23. Quarter time almost, I think, maybe half time. But at the end of the game, I forgot that he kneeled, and I nearly had a panic attack checking that out. Yeah. But that was a great one, $18. And then some big calls. Yep. We said Jahmyr Gibbs. We couldn't work it out. Just so you know, the line was 70.5 last week. He had over 200 rushing yards.
Nuts.
And I couldn't work it out. I was going, has Detroit said something about maybe getting Monty involved? I didn't think so. And in the game, they were playing from behind. Yeah. Like if he had 3 massive runs, and we also said he'd have a 50-yard rushing touchdown. He had a 60-something. Might have been 67. It was a monster. The other one that I want to just talk about was Christian Kirk. That really kicked off my week in style. The confidence is high when we hit the primetime game Sip. We got a stinker from Bryce Young.
Yep.
That's at the end of the week. But the confidence levels after the primetime game last week was good.
Yep.
It's starting to heat up though. The Texans beating the Bills, the Chiefs beating the Colts. We had overtime games everywhere. I love Dallas's comeback. We'll talk about that later. Did we have another jersey bet on that?
No, we didn't.
Oh, you did. You trigger shy.
No, I didn't. I couldn't. I didn't extend my hand out, so I left it.
I reckon. Do we get the clip up there? And I reckon we shook hands.
I don't know.
I swear we shook hands. So I asked him, "Do you owe me a CD Lamb as much as the Bajan?"
Tommy called truce at half time. He had his chance and he didn't fall through.
That is an absolute lie. I got to look after the special talent. So we'll let that one slide.
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Now look, big week, and I don't want to talk about last week for too long because it is a huge week this week. We've got a massive Thanksgiving. A few games coming up tomorrow. We're going to pump this potty out as we record. It's 4 p.m. in the Arvo. So we're flying here at Roland, trying to turn this around for everyone. So we will touch on these games. But just before we get to this week's games, last week we had everything. And I've probably got 2 things that stood out to me. One, I was real flat with the Cleveland Browns head coach. I'm not even going to say his name because I'm filthy with him. Not giving Shedeur Sanders more credit and the game ball after being the first quarterback, I think the first of the last 17 at the Browns to win his first game. I was flat with that, and I was really happy to see him sling it, watch him for a full game. I know he's playing the Raiders, but he does have Crosby down his neck, and I just thought that was really impressive. And the other one, I just think Jameis Winston is a really good quarterback. Yeah. And I think if you are out there and you're the Vikings right now, I'm calling Winston's agent for the end of the year and going, can we get him over here? Because we had Darnold, we had Jones, we've got JJ McCarthy. Wentz is cooked with his shoulder at the moment, whether he comes back, but he's not the answer. But the way Jameis plays the game and the way I just get the locker room going.
Absolutely.
He's a player that I'd want at my club.
Yeah.
at my franchise, and I also think he's a starting quarterback. That's my two takes from last week.
That's excellent. Yeah, he's awesome. I mean, how about that play that they ran? Obviously, it was amazing, wasn't it?
He goes, they need me to play tight end. I can play tight end.
I really thought they were going to pull it off after that play. That was excellent to watch. But that's well said, Tommy. I think there is a team that definitely needs him. That'd be cool to see, to be able to keep him going. He's just a vibrant guy, isn't it? You need people like that in your organisation. I think it's
plays at a high level,
very much necessary. He's not afraid, as I've mentioned a few times. He's just willing to have a crack and honestly just put his nuts on the line. To be honest, that's all it comes down to. And they almost shocked the world there with that victory. So it would have been nice for him to get over the line, to be honest.
Surgical. He goes, I'm going to be surgical. When he said that, I was like, he's supposed to go.
He's amazing. My take, though, is the Bills. And I know we always seem to forget a little bit about the Thursday game previously, but I'm a bit nervous about that organisation right now. They can't stop the run. They drafted a wide receiver that they've got on the pine for the last 2 weeks, and they are screaming out for someone for Josh Allen to throw the ball to. They came up against a pretty stout defense, and they have been for a while in the Texans, but I still think they're an organisation and a team that needs to get a victory on the road, and they've got some questions that they need to answer very, very quickly if they want to compete at the later end of the year, because the division's certainly slipping away from them, and they need to lift for sure.
Arrow, I tell you who needs to lift. Everyone in this room. We have Josh Allen jersey somewhere, and we're running a Jets Johnson jersey. Can someone get this Johnson jersey away from me and let's get the MVP
did you
behind
take
me?
It home?
Did you
take it home?
You
wore it last week. You wore it last week and took it home
really quickly after the Texans smoked them. And you told me to take the line. No, I agree with you there. And they've just picked up Brandon Cooks, which I don't think is the answer. They've got Coleman there. It's been a healthy scratch 2 weeks in a row. I have him in fantasy, and I don't really know what to do. Our fantasy league, and I'm sure everyone else is out there, it's just red hot at the moment. I'm in 3 leagues where I'm hanging on at like 8, but I can win, but I have to win out. And then there's these trades going on. There's a lot of dodge. So just a quick one on the fantasy league. We've had some trades in one of these other leagues, not the Aces one, but it's caused all sorts of dramas. This is the trade. Christian McCaffrey and Kyron Williams for Amika Ibuka and Monaghay, the backup running back at the Bears.
No, really?
Yes. And the team that got Christian McCaffrey and Kyron Williams is sitting second, and the other guy's sitting second last to keep a league. And it's caused all sorts of dramas. Yeah. Do you see why?
How did the commish let this?
The commish says he has no say unless it's fraudulent or brings the league into disrepute.
Yeah. Is the commish part of the trade?
The commissioner is not involved.
Oh, that's a bad beat if I've ever seen it.
So if you're involved in this league, as I am, sitting 7th or 8th, filthy with the fact that I'm going to have to compete against this bloke that's sitting second and adds in Williams and Christian McCaffrey. Do you think it's fair?
That's 2 first-round running backs.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good luck.
But what's your feedback to the guy that traded them out that's sitting second
last? Is it
last?
a keeper league?
Yeah.
Shocking. Horrendous. That is so poor. That's all I've got.
There is
nothing else that needs to be said about that.
There's some dodgy operators out there that just they can fleece anyone. And we've had a bit of drama in one of our leagues. Let us know if you've got any drama in your leagues. Get in the DMs. Morgan's going to get the best ones. We're going to put them up. We want to know the biggest trade dramas you've had in your league, because the deadline would have been this week or last week. There's always some dodgy bastards doing trades behind trades, going, you maybe give me 25% of whatever we win.
Very true.
All right, back on task. We spoke about last week. There's Raiders finally got rid of their offensive coordinator. $6 million a year. Chip Kelly gone, and they now have a rent roll of about $50 million with 5 coaches they're paying that aren't in the building, Sid.
No, shocking. Where do they go to? We spoke about this last week. I don't think we need to continue it, but Chip Kelly out the door, and where do they go? I don't know.
Tell you what, the offensive coordinator for the Cardinals would be just going, what was I thinking? 4th down, game on the line, and they throw pretty much a vertical route with 2 blokes there, cover 2. They had a safety sitting there, and he's just pegged it up there. They had a running back just sitting underneath. They could have got the down and won the game. You wonder sometimes when you go, just throw it and let's lose and just get the draft pick. I honestly watched that game go, and you could have won and you've thrown it away. But
no doubt.
Look, great win from the Jags. Well, not great, but lucky.
Yeah.
And look, I thought the Atlanta Falcons were the best bet of the week. I took the line of 3.5, but I just can't believe. I mean, they're playing the Saints.
Yeah.
They did lose London. But they have Mooney, they have Pitts, they have Bijan, they have a strong defense. They kept They only allowed them to score 3 points because Kirk Cousins threw a pick six. So, I mean, don't sleep on good defenses is what I'd say. And the Saints are very average.
Agree.
And that's about it. The only other thing I'd say is the ban list is continuing to haunt me. DJ Moore goes out and scores
I kept him in one of my leagues, and it was about time. I was that close.
I traded him for
that close.
Zay Flowers, and Munster denied it.
Oh,
so I ended up. So we ended up, and guess how many points we won by? 2 points, and he scored 2 tutties, and we would have lost, and our season would have been done. So hey,
you
money,
saved yourself.
Money, thanks, brother.
Yeah, well done, mate. Yeah, good work.
All right, who do you want to put on the ban list this week? Is there anyone that stands out? You want to come back to it later?
We'll come back to it later, I reckon. I don't have much right now off the
I'll
top
put
of my
Bryce
head.
Young rushing TD on the ban list because he could have run it in and gave us all a $950 price, and he decided to throw a pick at the 2.
Yeah.
What's doing, Sid? Righto, it's your time to shine. 2-minute drill before we get into week 13. Matty Bradbrook, Chiefs aren't done. Sorry, Tommy, watch out if they are a wild card.
I agree. I've said it all along. I am not giving up on the Chiefs yet. They are a chance. Love it.
Jordan Menz, AJ Brown will be a top 5 wide receiver for the run home.
Not if that offense doesn't get firing.
Charlie Mooley, Packers gets healthy and go all the way.
Disagree. They are absolutely shot to pieces, and I'm going to call it out. They're not going to win the Super Bowl.
Wow. Connor Young, JJ McCarthy couldn't hit the target even if the Wiggles were on the D. I'm reading these for the first time, and I was like, where's this?
Great take. Love it. Let's go. Oh.
Connor Young, keep going. We want more of your questions.
Good.
Scotty Price, Cowboys are the best viewing team in the NFL currently.
Yeah, I think that's a close. I love watching their offense, to be honest. They've been exciting. I really do.
And there's one man in particular I reckon you're talking about. Is Pickens not the most
it's unbelievable.
Talented wide? The way he jumps and just does the way he holds the ball.
Pittsburgh must, seriously.
I saw a video this
What
week.
the hell have Pittsburgh done?
I saw a video this week of one of the creators. I love these videos and they had the route tree and they grabbed his route tree for a few weeks, mainly the year, but he was running just verticals.
Yeah.
And he's been getting all his yards after catch, the yak, as we like to call it, but in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
So he's running those slants.
Yep.
And it's like, you think Steelers.
And wide open too.
Yeah, you're like Steelers.
Wide open.
It's like, why weren't you letting him do the same thing?
Well,
Remember DK Metcalf in Dublin when he ran that exact route? It's like, that's the kind of player he is. Yeah. And he has become, and that's why CeeDee Lamb's CeeDee Lamb's got the most drops on the year, by the way. He's got 8 drops, but he's normally the guy in the slot. Yep. So it's fascinating. And because they're so good, we see this where they go, well, overload one side. And then if he gets a one-on-one, Dak just goes, go get it.
Well, the other thing is too is that the run game's been really strong too. So, defenses have to come up a little bit and try and get in the box a little bit because the run game's actually going really solid. So what does that do? It opens up the back of the field. And you've got, 2 great wide receivers that are getting it done, and Pickens has just been unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And Quinnen Williams, I know this is a 2-minute drill. I've just made this a 15-minute drill. But Quinnen Williams, that trade, I'm starting to think Jerry Jones is
don't underestimate Wilson as well from behind him from the linebacker position.
But these trades they've made, I think it's actually going to hold them in great stead. And if they can, this game against the Chiefs until later, if they win that, you don't want to play them.
No, seriously.
Let's go back to this one. Sean Riley, Colts won't win their own division, the AFC South.
It is getting tight. We'll look at this later, but it's getting tight. Jags, and if the Texans keep winning, it opens it up if the Colts lose this week.
Wow, the shin boners. For the Eagles to go back-to-back, they must fire the offensive coordinator immediately.
Jeez, either that or they have to make a change in some way. I find it tough. We've watched some footage. We've watched some footage where there has been some gaps opened up in the run game for him for some explosive plays, and there's been opportunities offensively, but overall it's not working.
I disagree. I think the offensive coordinator's been poor.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he runs way too many run plays.
Yep.
And
why not?
They're ranked 26 on the year.
Yeah.
I think Kellen Moore, who's the head coach of the Saints,
no doubt,
did a great job last year.
Yep.
This guy's new, and the reality is, when they throw the ball to AJ Brown, he catches it. When he throws it to Smitty, Smitty's catch last week, there was a 50 50-yard bomb. And he adjusted 3 meters off the line, then took it back with the flight and flipped his whole body upside down.
Yep.
Don't tell me he can't make a play when they need it.
It's the O-line that's genuinely struggling right now. From a team that's been an absolute powerhouse on the O-line, they are really, really struggling. They need to fix that.
That's a very good point. The O-line is banged up and playing injured, and
they are hurting right now.
You can't run the ball behind that.
Yep.
And this week's another good matchup. Righto, keep moving.
Yep.
Tyler Hinbrain. Bo Nix had a great bye week from all reports. This bloke loves Bo Nix. We need a Bo Nix for Tyler Hinbrain. He's a machine.
Moving on, I love it.
He loves just reminding Sip that he said Bo Nix is no good. He might be winning the division. Richie Mathers. If Kevin O'Connell can't help JJ McCarthy, who can? God help us.
Well, that's a very good point because Kevin O'Connell has had previous quarterbacks that he has helped a lot. And if JJ is not working out, we've spoken about it previously, they're in struggle town. That's all there is to it.
Yep. I think they've missed there. Archie Storer, Jahmyr Gibbs will have 160 rushing yards.
When?
If it was
not this week, but maybe sometime in the future, but not this week against this Green Bay D.
Maybe last week you should have sent that one in. Yeah, Green Bay Packers a different side. We'll see how we go. And then Jevy 100K, pick your weapon set. Jackson Smith-Njigba, Justin Jefferson, and Jonathan Taylor, or Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, and Jahmyr Gibbs.
I'm going Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, and Jahmyr Gibbs. That's my three.
Wow. Is that because JJ has no quarterback?
No. Well, might be a little bit right now, but Jahmyr Gibbs is also good in the receiving game. We know what Puka's going to get, and Jamar Chase is still the best wide receiver in the game.
Very well said. There you go. That is our 2-minute drill that I extended with 15 timeouts that went for 15 minutes, and we had 55 advertisements like we do when we watch the Panthers and Christian McCaffrey just go straight through the Panthers defense and chew the clock like on a Tuesday at 12:15 and completely ruin my day. All right, Sip. That's a big Week 12 review. As we said, running red hot. Some great storylines, overtime games, upsets. Chiefs hold on. Ravens already winning the division. It was just absolutely perfect. And now we get to talk about Thanksgiving in Week 13. So we're going to throw to a quick break. And when we're back, we're going to preview all the big games coming up for Thanksgiving weekend. Stay tuned.
You got hands like buckets.
The NBA is back. And to celebrate at PointsBet, place a head-to-head bet on the Lakers versus Warriors. And if your team scores the first basket, you win. That's right. Your team scores first, get paid out early. See your account for personalized max stake limit. PointsBet. It's like hot sauce, but for basketball. Yeah, that's built different. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
All right, Sip, here we go. It's Week 13, but more importantly, Thanksgiving. When I say the word Thanksgiving, what comes to mind straight away? Football. I think about turkeys, big turkeys.
Football and turkey, mate, and family. That's what it is. It's a special time. I didn't really know what it was all about until obviously I got over there. But it's a very, very special time. I was over there in college and you spend the whole week not at college for most people. I get to go home. A lot of the students and that are on campus and that are from all parts of America, and it's a special time for them. And I was very fortunate enough to have some lovely families over there invite us into their home to spend the special day with them, and it's almost like our Christmas in a way. Like their Christmas isn't as big over there in terms of celebration, at least in my opinion. But I would definitely say that their Thanksgiving in America is close to our Christmas, considering that's the time that we really spend with our family over, a 2 or 3 day period. So it's quite a special week, and obviously having a bit of football to watch on the TV throughout the day makes it that little bit more.
I might argue it's Christmas Day.
Well, it's right up there, to be honest. It was honestly, I couldn't think of anything better. In my first year, I was at Detroit and got to be part of the day, which was really, really cool. We got blown out of the water and Matt Patricia got fired 2 days later, but that's not the point. The point was being part of it, which was really, really awesome, because Detroit was actually the team that originally started the whole Thanksgiving Day. That's why they always play that 12 o'clock game or 1 o'clock game in the afternoon over there. And Yeah, quite special to be part of, and then obviously being able to say, play the two other or see the two other games afterwards is awesome. So big turkeys out there for everyone, bit of mac and cheese, all that type of stuff is rolling around, and it's quite the feast. So it's a very, very special day.
There you go. There's a little bit of history with SIP. That's special. I didn't know Detroit started it, and I'm glad they did because I think they're my favourite team to watch. They always are just amazing to watch. They go for it on fourth down. They've got weapons everywhere. Their defense is stacked. And there's nothing better than when the boys finish the game and they whack that turkey leg.
Yeah, it's the best.
I reckon me and you should whack a turkey leg tomorrow if our special gets up.
Seriously, I'd love to. I love that stuff. Get it out there and go, here we go. I mean, I'd love it. Let's do it.
What are you most thankful for?
And what am I most thankful for, in honesty? I have a beautiful wife at home and two beautiful daughters that I'm very, very thankful for. It completely changed my life, to be honest, and it's everything else just is a little bit on the back burner when that gets involved. So I'm very, very thankful for them, and I'm very, very thankful for the opportunity that football has given me as well in my time over there and but also over here. But very, very thankful for that. What about you, Tommy?
Really well said. I'm really thankful for Kyle Juszczyk and that 4th and 1 last week and finishing the game so Christian McCaffrey wouldn't put me to bed. I'll tell you what, big Kyle Juszczyk just with the 4th and 1 QB's type sneak operation. I'm very thankful for that.
I've gone all serious on you and he just comes out with that bullshit. How about that?
No. I just had to spice it up a little bit. You're making me tears.
Sorry, mate.
A few tears
I've
coming
got him a little
bit
bit glass-eyed right now. I'm not going to lie.
I'll keep it NFL team. I am very thankful and grateful to have you on this show and everyone that we've got involved in the studio and Morgs and even our fantasy league and the dream of just diving into NFL and seeing where it goes. I was thinking about this on the way in. I'm very lucky to have you next to me. I'm being serious, and we're mates. I'll see us as mates, but also to have you next to me every week. We should incorporate a couple more highlights of what you achieved last week when I was going, send me some clips. What you achieved by playing in the NFL and going to college over there and playing AFL, mind you. So you didn't have that guy that goes, I wish I did that. You did both. So I'm very thankful to have you on here. And everyone that listens to this podcast or watches it, I want to let them know that we are very thankful for you. And we're working our backsides off to grow this game. We feel like we got a great understanding and we've got no one better than you in the room to talk about Thanksgiving, punting, the locker room, NFL and what it takes because you've been there. That's the main thing, mate. And to everyone out there that consistently gets involved, even that 2-minute drill to see Tyler Hinbrain is the one that stands out every week. He's in there and everyone else. So I appreciate all your support. All right. Enough of us giving each other a couple of, you know what I was going to say.
PJ, mate.
Yeah, PJ, come on.
Couple kisses.
I'll keep it a polish. It's Thanksgiving, and there's 3 games, but there's a 4th game Saturday morning at 7 a.m., which is just perfect. Get up, have a latte, and watch the Bears hopefully smoke your Eagles, which I don't think they will. But let's just quickly, we're going to skim over it. But look, we're powered by PointsBet. We're running red hot, and we've put a lot of emphasis on these Thanksgiving games. Tell them what we did last night at about 8:30 till 10:30.
I'll tell you what, we had a good crack at it, didn't we? We went through each game. We went into some really good detail on what we thought was going to happen for each game. Obviously, there's 3 cracking ones to come up with. There's a lot of different ways that we wanted to go, but I think we've come up with some pretty good stuff for our fan base that we've got out there for some awesome action in what's going to be for tomorrow's games. I'm really, really excited by it. What do we do in the end? We went with probably one player. We went one player roughly for each team, and we've got something cooking that I think we're really going to like.
It's called the Aces NFL Show 6 Turkey Leg Special. So me and Sip said, let's pick one leg that we're both happy with in each game. And we started off with Green Bay and Detroit, and we both agree that we think Detroit and Green Bay should be a cracker. And we think Jordan Love has all his weapons back. Obviously, Kraft's out, but we think Watson and Wicks and Dobbs and also your man Golden, I think he's back. Plus Josh Jacobs is back. It's going to be a bit more passing yards. You liked Watson, and so did I. I said, why don't we take passing yards? So we took him for 225. And indoor stadium at home. Detroit are at home, and Detroit are favoured. So if they are to play from behind, that equals more yards. So we think he'll get more than that, but we brought it back a little bit. And then we said, who do we think will play well for Detroit? and we tossed a few players around, and we think that Gibbs won't rush as much this week. We think he'll receive. But then we thought, let's keep it simple. Amon Ra, you said, has struggled against the Packers. So Jamo Williams was the one that we liked off a duck egg last week. He's had 80, or he's had 60 plus in the other three. He's had 100 plus, 80 plus, and a 60 plus. But we took him for 40, which you get some good odds.
Yep.
That was the game one.
Very, very
That
good.
gets us through to the next game. You can talk about this one with Mahomes and CD Lamb.
Well, the next one here, we thought, well, again, if there's one weakness right now for the Dallas for the Dallas defense, it's still their secondary. We have seen them obviously pick up a little bit for their D-line and what they've been able to do there and get a couple of extra guys in the box. But ultimately, Patrick Mahomes has been a difference maker. He has been back to his best, and we had a look at a couple of things to Rashee Rice. But in the end, we were very, very happy with Patrick Mahomes and the passing yards of 250 plus. That's what we went with. The secondary's a little bit weak, and he has still got the weapons around. Worthy, Rashee Rice, Juju Smith can still get involved there, Hollywood Brown, and of course Travis Kelce. So we thought it's probably a good way to go there. I think it's going to be tighter, so I think he's going to have to be throwing the ball. They might actually see themselves down a little bit throughout the game too, we really, really like that one. So Patrick Mahomes for 250 plus passing yards, we're a big fan of. And when it came down to the Cowboys, there were a few options. Pickens is obviously right up there in fine form, but in the end, we just had to go with CD Lamb, didn't we? We went with CD Lamb. His odds are still pretty juicy right now. He's getting himself obviously in the slot. He's moving around a little bit. I'm not too worried about the drop passes. I know it's been spoken about, but he will bounce back, and I'm not too worried about that. So 70 plus receiving yards we thought was quite juicy. But something that I think he's more than capable of being able to get.
Well said, mate. And we looked at his numbers. He's had 100, he's had 110, 112, 110, 74, 85, 66, 75. This is CD Lamb, and he's having a quiet year. So for 70 yards receiving against, a good defense, but they're pretty good against the run, the Chiefs. So we've taken him. And then it takes us to the last game. My boys. We could have went anywhere. But Lamar, he hasn't been at his best, but the Bengals don't defend. Joe Burrow's back. Higgins is out. We kept it simple. Two things that stand out in this game. Jamar Chase absolutely eats against the Ravens, and if we expect him to play from behind, he should get a heap of yards and some junk. They might play off him, play soft, let him have a couple of catches, 80 receiving yards. Take that and leave it. And then the matchup that we think they can exploit them with through a lot of prep. We saw it last week with Hunter Henry. We saw it a couple of weeks earlier with Loveland when I was in Miami. The tight end position is smashing the Bengals, smoking them. Now, is Bateman back for the Ravens? I'm not sure. I think he might be, but that doesn't matter. If he is, it's probably a better thing. We've got two verticals out wide with Flowers and Bateman. We throw Andrews in the middle, likely as well, but we think Andrews can get to work with some air yards. 40 receiving yards, it goes in. We take all that. We get $17 on the website. A lot of effort that's gone into that one. That's exactly how we think the game's going to go. We both think that the Detroit Lions and Packers is a 50-50 game. It's indoors. We think it can be high scoring. We hope it's high scoring. And then we also thought that the Cowboys and Chiefs, same thing. As well. Flip a coin. I think Cowboys, you think Chiefs.
I think Chiefs, yeah.
So we thought, let's just get up and down. Main players will be involved. But then the Ravens and Bengals, I speak for myself here. We haven't discussed the result yet because everyone's saying Ravens. I think Ravens not quite comfortably, probably 7-10. I just think Joe Burrow will have a lot of rust early. He didn't start the year off well, and then he got injured at the start of week 2. So there's a lot of rust, I think, is coming our way, and I think he'll be playing from behind the whole time, and the defense just sucks. They can't stop the run, they can't stop the pass. So Lamar, if he uses his legs as well, I think they could have a 14-point lead, and Joe will just be throwing from behind.
I like it. And the other thing too, if anybody's worried about Jamar Chase's one, well, he's going to get a little bit more of a look in with T. Higgins being gone. The last time he played against the Baltimore Ravens, he had 234 yards receiving, and T. Higgins wasn't playing. So if we can put that to bed a little bit too, he's more than capable of getting the job done without he's number 2 man behind him. So that was another thing that we looked at and considered, and we feel very, very comfortable for that. So I'm excited about that one and see what the outcome is.
We talk about this from a fantasy betting and matchup point of view. The other one that I really like, I've looked into it a fair bit, but Gesicki, he hasn't had much going on, but he had a lot of targets last week. It has a good matchup. The Ravens do allow a little bit, and you can get it. I mean, his line's 35.5, but he's one of those guys. Will he score? Will he? He's paying $4.20 to score. I don't like playing around with players that are going against my boys. But if this game lives up to the hype, and if Joe Burrow comes back in good nick, this is normally up and down. And there's been some incredible matchups. So keep an eye for that one. But I love the tight ends for the Ravens. I think Isaiah likely can score a touchdown. I think Andrews and him can combine for yards, and that's another special that we're going to put up. A TE, which is a tight end combined yards and tutties. All right, let's get to your boys now. We're talking Black Friday, and it's the Bears heading to the Eagles, and the Bears have won a lot. I think I don't know how many games they won in a row.
I think there's 6 in a row right now, so they're finding ways to win games. Not by close, not by a fair bit. They're very, very close, but they are finding a way to win games right now.
They are, but the thing is that the Bears, I don't think have played a defense like this. And now
ball game.
The Bears, they're winning the league with interceptions, but I don't know how you're going to go against this team on the road. I just feel like this would be a good bounce back game. I personally want to see the Bears win because I want to see the Bears progress, but I don't think the Bears have had a challenge like this. So I don't expect the Bears to win this. I'm fascinated to see how Philly's offense goes against the Bears defense because the Steelers put up 30 points last week. So I'm actually excited to see how we can get Smitty involved, AJ Brown again. They're the two. I just think Hurts will be throwing the ball.
This is a massive game. Both teams 8-3. Conference spots are on the line here. If you win this game, you just separate yourself again. If you lose this game, you're kind of backed in the pack a little bit and still fighting whether you're wild card, getting a home final, or still arguably missing the playoffs altogether. This is a massive game. The Eagles just need to find a way to get their offensive going. I thought they were kind of back last week. When you go up 21-0 before the half and you're actually like, what are we talking about here? Our offense is totally fine. And that was the case. It looked unreal. And the defense, special teams plays let them down. You can't be fumbling the ball there at the 10-yard line. Of course, that's going to make it very, very tough. But yeah, I mean, that's a bad loss. You can't be losing games, I think, when you're 21-0 up and all systems firing, and they need to bounce back in a big way. I think they do. I agree with it. I think they do. But there's a bit on the line here, and if the Bears somehow pull this off, well, we're going to have to start taking them a bit more seriously than I think what teams are doing or the organizations are doing right now.
Little gem for you. Did Swift get the axe from the Eagles?
He didn't. He didn't get the axe. He got traded to the Eagles and then signed as a free agent, but obviously, didn't get the dollars that probably would have liked. Chicago were willing to give him that, and they're he's coming back. He's coming back home, so maybe he wants to make a little bit of a statement.
Well, I thought Swifty got the raspberry. It was a classy raspberry because he got a deal somewhere else. He didn't get going.
Got a big deal. Howie Roseman doesn't normally like playing running backs, and it kind of worked out in the end because he got Saquon for cheap. Now, obviously, you have to pay Saquon after last year, but it was a bit of an upgrade.
Yeah, it was a bit of an upgrade. But I think Swift behind that O-line and the way that Williams looked all right last week, I love watching players with this extra motive. There's something about that game. So for some reason, I just got Swift in my head. I just think Smitty can have a monster. But this is a massive game. I would love to see an upset. I would love it. It would cause all sorts of chaos in the NFC.
Yeah, it's definitely there. I mean, Bears win this one, they go to the number 2 seed. Unbelievable. I mean, hard to think about. 8 weeks ago, we thought, Caleb Williams running around like a headless chook. He's making a couple of plays, but throwing absolute darts out of bounds. And you're like, what's going on? But They have got themselves together. They've got the right head coach, Ben Johnson. He will damn well know too that Swift is obviously going back to Philly in a bit of a statement game, and he's going to give him a chance to be able to get the ball. So this one's set up beautifully.
Bears 1-2 in the division, and then Green Bay 2-0, and Detroit 1-2. So the game between
North.
Green Bay and Lions is just the Detroit Lions, I should say, calling them the name and the actual symbol. The Lions and Packers is huge. And then the Cowboys is huge. If the Detroit Lions and the Cowboys win, I'll be very happy. And if the Philly Eagles lose, I'll be even happier. Just because it means more at the end of the year. We get playoff football at the end.
The Lions aren't even in the playoffs right now. They're actually 8th.
It's crazy.
That's what's amazing. That's what I'm saying. If you win this game, you can get your bridge. You just extend yourself out a little bit. If you lose, you're right back into the pack, and it's game on with 4 or 5 games to go. But this is going to be a cracker.
Let's straighten up. Obviously, we're extending our answers here for these games, but they're just cracker games. There are some stinker games, but the one thing I want to give you is a weather warning. Here's the Trains weather warning. Everyone listen up. The weather is huge. There's a lot of rain around this week. So with your fantasy side and with whatever you do at home, when you power up the PointsBet app, just be careful because the overs on receiving yards in a few games, the weather looks wet, and it looks very wet in Cleveland when I looked last. And Christian McCaffrey gets a bad matchup. The Browns also, against the Niners, this matchup between defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator and head coach has always been in the Browns' favor. So this game for me is a stay-away game. This is a low-scoring game. This could be ugly. The Niners continue to impress me on offense. But last week when he threw 3 picks and the Panthers couldn't turn that around, I was filthy just with the game. It should have been good, high scoring. In the end, Christian McCaffrey saves them because he can just run the ball, get it down. He can catch it. Kittle's huge, and they get it down. And then the clock ticks and the clock ticks. In the end, the Panthers ran out of time. They had to force a field goal from 57 yards because they needed the 2-minute warning. So this game here, I'm saying stay away from Christian McCaffrey. And I'm saying the Browns' defense has been enormous. And I'm probably staying away from everything, really. I just want to see what Sanders does against this defense because this defense has not been good because all their weapons are out. So an upset of the year would be Sanders beating the Niners. And obviously people think that I just hate the Niners. I don't. I think the Niners will just win because their offense. But this is fascinating.
Well, I'll argue that a little bit in terms of their defense. I mean, the reality is Brock Purdy put him in some pretty tough spots last week, and they still only gave up 9 points. Yep, they missed a field goal, but 9 points in the end against a Carolina team that has been firing on all cylinders. So I wouldn't give up on the defense too much. Yeah, personnel, they are hurting from personnel, but their system's really working well with Rob Salah down there as a defensive coordinator. And I just think it means it reeks even more of a low-scoring game, if you ask me. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a 6-3 with the weather and a couple of field goals kind of get through, to be honest. So I'm happy to steer clear. I'd be going, if anything, let's see what Myles Garrett can do and continuing to try and break the record with a few sacks there, to be honest. So if you want to take that on the defensive side, but I couldn't agree more. I think you leave it alone, but the better team, I think, will just be able to get it done, and that is the 49ers.
A little bit of rain around here for the Jags at Titans. This one's in Nashville. I must say, Ward's starting to impress me a little bit more every week. That Seattle defense is legit. Put up 24 points, made the game close enough. And they just, the Titans, they're going to be good in the future. They just need to get a few more weapons. But I'm really starting to see why he's the number 1 pick. And the Jags, as I said to you, I just can't trust them. They nearly lost in overtime last week. I like Jacoby Myers. He got involved. I'm loving Washington, actually. He's probably underrated. And ETN got to work. But yeah, this game here is interesting. And I think, again, I don't like a lot except for probably Myers. And again, a division game. Is there an upset here? Yeah. I'm staying away. It just has danger on it.
Yeah, I just think I agree with you with the Myers play. I mean, Jackson Smith and Najigba got out the back so much last week, and I know how good he is, and his route running is amazing. But I don't know if that means it's going to be fixed in a week's time. So I think Myers has a really good opportunity as well to make something happen. If the Jags obviously want to continue to be taken seriously, and they should, I mean, the reality is they're 7-4 right now, and there is still a division spot on the line there. The Colts lost last week. They're 8-3. So here's a great opportunity. The Colts have got a tough game against the Texans,
Talk about that next year.
obviously. And here's the chance for the Jags to still potentially take the spot in that division. That is wide open right now. So there's a lot riding for the Jags. So if they really do need to come out all guns blazing and get the job done pretty quickly against the Titans.
Well said. I'm staying away. I'd love to see an upset. I'd love to see the Titans beat the Jags. It would mean in the AFC South that if the Colts lost to the Texans would go to 7-5, the Jags would be 7-5, and then the Colts would be 8-4. We would have an absolute just popcorn. It's a movie. It'll be a movie, that division. So a field day with there. Next game, Texans at the Colts, indoor stadium. I am so impressed by what I'm seeing from the Texans. I think they might have the two best edge rushers in the competition. Yep. Anderson's a freak.
Yep.
But their defense is just getting better and better, and their offense is getting even better. I think Mills is better than CJ Stroud at the moment.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud might have been carrying something. The O-line's picked up their game. And I'm just you're getting Kirk back, you're getting Nico there. Yeah. Higgins is improving. The only thing they don't really have is the running game. Marks is there, but, got banged up a little bit, Chubb. But it's more just, I like it when they throw the ball. And that defense, if they lead, Houston at $2.80. I'm saying this again, it's upset week. Yeah. I just feel like there's a lot of upsets happening this week. You can just, last week was pretty easy, I felt like. I don't know about you. I got two wrong. I tipped two wrong. I tipped the Colts, and I think I tipped the Raiders.
I had the Bills wrong.
Everything else I tipped. This week, I'm seeing things where I'm going, I can see either team winning. I don't have much for you besides I'm keen to see this Texans defense.
Yeah,
and
I am.
When you lose one, sometimes you can lose another one.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Colts teams are just starting to figure them out a little bit now. They know what their recipe is. Obviously, it is the run game. The Texans have been unbelievable in the run game. So if Taylor doesn't get going, they do find it a little tough. We've found it out with their losses. We saw it last week against the Chiefs. Yep, cracking game, and it was obviously very, very close, and arguably still, should have won that game. But the reality is their run game didn't get going, and allows teams to stay in. And the Texans are right up there. The defense, I think they actually may be number one in the league, and. This is set up to be another cracking game, and I agree with you. I think there is an upset alert on this one, and the Texans are playing some really good football right now, and I would not be surprised if they do get over the line.
Good to say that center Frank Ragnow, who is the Detroit Lions, ex-Detroit Lions. All-Pro. He's coming out of retirement, so I was meant to mention that at the start of the show with some injuries, and Will Campbell, the offensive tackle, who's their top 4 pick, I think he was, for the Patriots. He's out. He's on IR. He'll be back probably for playoffs. But these are huge players coming in and coming out of the side. We'll get to the Patriots later. Mate, Texans for me, I like them. I think they're underdog of the week. I'll take the line, but I think they can win. And Stingley on Pittman means you got Pierce, but it's a Warren game. Warren will be the one that needs to be used here if Jones wants to get out of trouble, because that Texans defense, again, can't wait to see what happens here. And I love Nico Collins. All right, Pucci, Saints at Dolphins. I'm just going to say Dolphins. I think Saints are Raiders are bad. I think Saints are so bad it's not funny.
Yep.
And I love Waddle and I love A-Chain, and I'm moving on.
Yeah,
you?
I couldn't agree more. I'm happy with that one.
Saints are horrific, man. I honestly feel sorry for Callum.
But at least they know that they aren't any good, and they're just going to work in progress. But he could have waited another year.
Mate, he could have waited another year. Why wouldn't he wait another year?
And I know he'd been waiting long enough, but you're a very, very young, very, very young man. Another year maybe with the Eagles, and you could have had anything else.
Imagine
but maybe he's the guy. Maybe he's a guy that's all about. I want to build this back up. It's a great history and a proud organisation. Maybe I want to be part of that. You never know, but right now it is tough sledding, and I agree. The Giants would have been knocking on the door for sure.
Imagine getting the Giants job right now.
Good.
You'd be the king.
Pleasure. I couldn't agree more.
And here's what they need, an offensive coordinator.
An offensive mind. So, that's interesting times ahead, but I couldn't agree more. The Dolphins should be able to win this one relatively comfortably, and Devion A-Chain should be having an absolute cracker.
It will be. Talk about another stat for you. This one's Falcons at the Jets. Did you know this, Sip, while I get it up because I knocked a button, that Jackson Smith-Njigba has more receiving yards than Justin Fields has passing yards?
It's unbelievable.
One plays wide receiver, one plays quarterback if you're new to the game. What are we doing?
Unbelievable. Oh, You know what would have been even funnier is if it were all-purpose yards.
Yeah, with the rush. That'd be, well, wouldn't be, you know what? Give him another week. He goes for 200 a week, this bloke. The other one is Pickens has outproduced the whole wide receiver room at the Steelers.
Unbelievable. That's what's even funnier. I love that. Like, so good.
Some great stats.
But back to this Jets-Falcons game, I reckon the Jets can get it done.
They don't have enough on offense.
I reckon they get it done.
Nah.
Yeah.
I can do another jersey.
I'm not doing a jersey. You can get stuffed. But
there's no way the Jets will win this one.
I mean, their defense held up strong against your mob last week. They struggled. There's no doubt.
I'd rather Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater would have more luck winning that game for the Jets than their quarterbacks.
I don't think Kirk Cousins is much of a hero right now too, and they can get after him in that pocket. We
said last week Mooney would fire up.
Well, he did, and that's very, very good. But that's just my little feeling that I have. The Jets at home. I'm not sold on Atlanta. I'm just not sold.
I'm sold on the defense.
They should. But I'm just not sold on it yet, and I can see the Jets potentially getting over the line here and getting a little bit of an upset.
The Jets' defense since the trade period has been ranked number 2.
Yep, they've been way better.
Derrick Henry had 2 touchdowns last week, but he had a fair few goes at it, and he only had the 60-odd yards. This Jets' defense that we thought was poor against the run is no longer poor. Now, they played Bijan Robinson, so saying that the week before is very silly. But I wouldn't be surprised if they use Bijan in the flat, a bit more as a receiver. Mm-hmm. Kyle Pitts dropped a few balls last week, so he's going to want a bounce-back game. But we know the Jets are traditionally good defense. Yep. We'll move on. I expect the Falcons to win, and I need Bijan to have an absolute day.
Yep.
I still think he can find a crease. And sometimes when you pump them up and say you're good at defense, they have 1 week they slip. So let's just see what happens.
Fair.
But look, that's meant to be raining. It's going to be wet.
Yep.
It's going to be boring. Again, fantasy football, it's the biggest week for, I think, most people.
I reckon most people
need a win.
Honest,
2 weeks left, need a win. And these games aren't doing us any favors. Right, Cardinals at Bucks. Baker Mayfield AC joint. I've had that. Have you ever had one of them?
No.
They are painful,
Just the labrum out the back, but not the AC
there
joint.
There you go. Well, they are painful. And mine was a grade 1. So there's grade 2s and 3s. Now, it's a jab job. Boom. You jab it up. You can't feel it. I think he'll be fine. It's not his throwing arm. Because last week he was in so much pain, but it was very, but it was very annoying. Yeah. Just like he was hurting it when he did the Hail Mary, which is like the other arm. Yeah. So he must have some
real instability in that.
It must be a really bad AC joint sprain. Yeah. So if he doesn't play, Teddy Bridgewater, honestly, man, I love the guy. He was coaching a high school team, I think, last year. But Jesus Christ, the gap between Baker and him, it's so big. And I was thinking it's so important to have a good backup because if you get to this point later in the year, you just cooked.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot on the line for the Bucks. That division's wide open, 6-5, and you would have thought 2 or 3 weeks ago they've kind of got it covered, and they've had a tough run. They've had some tough matchups. But they need this win. They need this win, and if they're going to be able to get it done, they need Baker on the field to make something happen.
They certainly do.
And good thing is that Buck Irving is back though, so the run game hopefully starts to lift a little bit. I'm hoping that's the case. Can help Baker maybe a little bit. The run game's been okay still, but I just think having Buck Irving is huge for him. So he is back this week, which is good, hopefully, for some fantasy people that need to get over the line because the weather's meant to be pretty darn nice.
You're rolling over there. Have you got him in your side?
I do in one of them, and I need him desperately.
Quivering. Cardinals are just allowing anyone to do anything. So again, 2 wide receivers that stood out last week, Washington and Myers. So I think wide receivers score touchdowns here. But if Baker's not out there, I just have no trust. If he is, this is a Mika Igbokwe matchup of the year. So it's a great matchup here. Otherwise, I actually, again, if Baker doesn't play, Cardinals win. Brissett can throw the ball on that secondary. Yep. And last week, I felt like the Rams just had the perfect matchup. Todd Bowles, he didn't want to, have these plays where they rush the quarterback and all out blitz. Yeah. And because he knew that if you do that, he would just throw it over the top. Yeah. So they didn't really do anything. They just ran the ball, passed the ball. The game was all over at quarter. It was all over at quarter time.
Cruise control, 28-7 halfway through the second. It was cruise control.
Talk about cruise control. The Rams are playing the Panthers. And they had players in concussion protocol. They got blokes whacking blokes in the dick. He's got a week suspension. I mean, their safety's cooked. Puka Nakua light it up. Devontae Adams from the 1 yard line. You might as well have your 13th touchdown. He's got the 12. He's got the most touchdowns in the league. He's having the most fun of his life. The Rams are the best team to watch in terms of just they got 3 plays with a little bit of tight end action with Parkinson at the end maybe, but it's just Williams, Puka, Adams, and a little bit of tight end action. And then they say, see you later, because our defense is on fire.
It is. They're the best team to watch. Besides the Lions, they're definitely one of the best teams to watch. If we haven't given any respect to Matthew Stafford yet, we need to. Yes. In all honesty,
I think he's the MVP. By the way.
He has to be the front runner right now.
It's locked in.
It's just time to give the respect to the man, because he's been very, very good for a long time, and he's just in a very, very nice situation and playing some of the best football. Can you believe that he's not a Pro Bowler?
What?
He's not a Pro Bowler. I saw something the other day that he's not a Pro Bowler. It's shocking.
That's why this MVP award is very fitting, because he has been.
And if he continues on this, I don't even think he actually has to do that much going forward. I think he still wins it. But the man's on fire. It's time to give him that respect. 2,830 yards passing, 30 TDs, and only 2 interceptions. That's a hell of a season. And you've still got 5 games to go.
And you got the Panthers.
And you got the Panthers this week. And I think they just open them right up. They're exciting to watch, the Rams, and they are a genuine threat and arguably the Super Bowl favourites right now. So they get it done again.
Talk about records. Myles Garrett needs 5 sacks in his next 6 games to break the sack record, and he's still got the Titans and Bengals on deck.
He'll get 6 in one game.
Yeah. He'll break the record and no one will break it again. Is that a good call for the next 20 years?
Yeah, no one will break it again.
On a losing team.
And on a losing team. On a very bad losing team too. Yeah.
Wow, let's keep
Bills
moving.
Steelers.
No, one more game before that. Vikings Seahawks. Easy. Defense has been good, but they can't hang in there because of their quarterback situation. And Seahawks against a rookie quarterback. I mean, they've done this guy dirty. If JJ McCarthy's out and they chuck in this young fella, mate.
Goodness.
But the Seahawks are going to light him
Seriously.
up. The reason I say 14 plus, because they'll score on them, because I've seen it. Yep. I've seen the Vikings play the Chargers. The Vikings hang in there and they can crack them like an egg in the third, and then all hell breaks loose and you're up by 30 and you're running the ball on them. But this one here, fire them up. The guy that I'm looking for is Shaheed, though. When is Shaheed going to get his number called? I get Jackson Smith-Njigba is the man, but they're the 31st ranked offense on pass attempts, Sip. Jackson Smith-Njigba has 1,313 yards. He's about to break the record off the least attempts.
It's unbelievable.
This bloke's a superstar.
Just throwing deep balls. That's their only offense, and it's working every single time. His route running's incredible. Like getting him in motion. If you get him in motion, you can't stop him. And it's been the case all year, and it continues to happen. And Sam Darnold, we were talking about, DeAndre Swift before. Well, I reckon it's the same story for Sam Darnold. So, it's the same story. He's going to make a statement.
How many tutties?
3 at least.
Not running the ball.
No.
So
just give it. Just
Walker,
give it. Yep.
See you later, fellas.
Just give it, because Darnold's it's going to be a game for him. They all know it. Like, give him the ball, let him do his thing, make the magic happen, and the Vikings will tell their story walking.
Well, there you go. Sip said it, not me. I just think the Seahawks-Rams battle is going to be fascinating. Do they play each other again, Sip? Can you just check that maybe, Morgs? Have a look and see if the Rams play the Seahawks once more, because if they do, Thursday Night Football, Morgs is going to be
Bang, there you go.
Is that in Seattle?
You know it's happening.
Yeah, that'll be the best game.
That'll be a ripping game.
That could be for the one seed.
It will be. I really believe that. Yeah.
All right, we nearly go. The 4 games to go. We'll fly through a couple of them, but the Bills and Steelers, I want to talk about one thing last week. There was a play, and there's a couple of Instagram pages, but one of DJ Moore's touchdowns is so funny if you look at it, and the quote is, every 12-year-old playing Madden knows what happens when you run cover 3 versus 4 verticals, and Mike Tomlin still has no clue. And if you watch the play, it's just 4 verticals and a cover 3, and what that means is obviously there's an outlier, and it's DJ Moore, and he's just, because you run 4 straight, then 3 don't know where to go, and there's always says, Caleb Williams goes, goes through his progressions. DJ Moore, he backed into the touchdown. I'm thinking, Geez, why can't all touchdowns be that easy?
Seriously. There was no one within 30 yards.
Their defense is gone.
Oh.
Their defense is not there.
Yeah.
And Bills, off a loss, I reckon we go back to Detroit Lions that they haven't lost since 2022 after a loss and nearly let the Giants beat them, but they did win. So Bills bounce back on the road at Pittsburgh, and the way they're going to do it, I think they're going to get Cook going again, and this Steelers offense allows anything. So this will be fun, though. I reckon this could be a fun game. It says there's rain. I'm looking, it's clearing up, but I just think this could be a little bit of fun.
Yeah, well, the Bills need it. The Bills needed to kind of stay in contention, to be honest.
The Ravens could jump them
honestly,
if they lost this.
That's the crazy part about this right now. They've kind of stalled a little bit, but they are the better team, I think, overall, and they should be able to go in there and get it done. But I agree. I think they need to get Cook going. They need to get the run game. When they've got that going, they are definitely a different unit. The defense needs to stop the run, though. Oh, that's the main point, really. If they can stop the run in some way, shape, or form, then they give themselves, such a better look, and they look so much better. But they haven't been able to stop the run the last few weeks, and because the reason why they get over the line against the Bucs is because of some Josh Allen's special ability. But besides that, it's just been a little bit of a struggle, and they need to get something going, really.
Kincaid out, and then just not the same team. So Shakir, load him up. He's the main man. They just got Cooks. I remember when they got
just
Cooper last year.
Back in. You just need to find a way to get him in. Just get him in.
Where is Amari Cooper?
He's retired, mate. He signed with the Raiders in the training camp, and he retired 3 days later. So yes, that's where he's at right now.
You think he knew what was going on?
Oh, I saw a video.
Since he's retired, I saw a
video of him too, though, and in his second day at camp, and he was sore, the boy. That's the best way to describe it. He was pretty sore, so I think it was a fair call. I don't know if the Bills were getting much out of him either, to be honest.
Should have stayed with the Bills. All right, let's move on. I'm going with the Bills.
Stephen Diggs.
I'm going with the Bills so they can cook the team that I need them to be cooked.
Yep.
I mean, it's just on this, but the Ravens, they win against the Bengals and the Steelers lose to the Bills.
Yeah, they're back.
It's crazy. I honestly think the Steelers, you'd have to check this, but it feels like the Steelers have lost every game and the Ravens have won every one. It's all happened since we went to America and come back, and we're now sitting on top.
Well, ever since the Steelers lost that game against the Bengals, that shootout, it's been a different story for them, really.
Can you imagine I had like $20 on every Ravens game, rolled it over, and then every other game in their division, because I think they're all lost except for Sanders last week. Oh, it's crazy.
Nuts.
Righto, Raiders, Chargers. I'll just start. I think the Raiders last week, watching them closely, is they allow you to throw the ball. I love Johnson. Quentin Johnson, I think he's the man this week. They've had the bye. I'm pretty sure they've come off the bye. We know the lads in the slot. Keenan Allen might be a touchdown-dependent top receiver. They want to keep him fresh for the postseason because they should be around there. They're just horrific, the Raiders. But in saying that, they've just sacked the offensive coordinator. I wonder what they get going. You know they're going to be aggressive. They know their season's done. So, Tucker, is it you? Bowers, how many targets? I don't know what it is, Sip, but I need to see something different this week. And I think it's got to come from just maybe it is running more vertical so you can get Bowers in space. I'm not sure, but something's got to change. And Gino, man, you're going to kill yourself. How long does he hold onto the ball?
Seriously.
It's more like just go through your progressions and then get rid of it. Last week, Myles Garrett, I'm like, he's going to kill you. Yeah. He got sacked, it felt like 10 times. I couldn't believe how long. Once he hold on the ball and the pocket's collapsing, it's like, man, you're going to get smoked.
Yeah, seriously.
So he would have been sore. Do you want to keep talking or want to move on?
No, honestly, I think you've nailed it perfectly. I don't think there's too much to it. The wide receivers will be heavily involved for the Chargers, and it's a good game for Herbert to start slinging it around, to be honest, and find a bit of touch again.
Right. 2 games to go. Broncos at Commanders. Commanders just got beat by Miami over there. I think it was in Berlin. Yes. And Broncos off the bye. They need a win. They're 9-2. This will take them to 10 wins on the season. Can we see an upset? I don't think so because of the defense, but who bloody knows in this league, Sip? I've got nothing for you except I just think this is a Bo Nix bounce back with the arm. And I think Sutton and Franklin haven't been able to get on the same page, Franklin and Nix. Yep. We get the bye. We get a bit more prep. They go up against a defense that allows a little bit in the secondary.
Absolutely.
I think them two can get going. That's all I got for you.
No, that's perfect. Well said again. I think the wide receivers get going here. Bo Nix, just to find a bit of touch again. They need it. They've had a good run right now. They've got to get to the busy end of the season with some good touch. So just get everything firing on all cylinders, and this is a good matchup for that to occur.
Well said. Right, one more game. I got one for you. It's prime time. It's Monday Night Football. 12:15 on a Tuesday. Slowly getting in. This is December. It's going to be let's kick December off in style. I'm going to give everyone an early Christmas present.
All right, here we go.
The Giants are going to beat the Patriots.
I walked into this building and I had a quick look at that, and it's amazing to think that I thought the same thing. And I don't know why.
I know why.
Oh, wow.
You've lost someone on the O-line, Will Campbell.
Yep.
The Giants' offense is humming with Winston.
Yeah, but is Dart back?
If Dart's back, they probably get an upgrade.
Yep.
And I think this defense has improved every week. How bad do they want the draft pick is what's going to be
It's gonna be the
That's
issue.
what's going to be the issue, okay? That's the issue.
That's the issue.
I want Winston to start because I want
Yeah.
to look after Dart because I know Winston's playing
Yeah.
to win. But I think on prime time, we can get an upset.
Wow.
The run game won't be as strong without the big boy Campbell on the O-line.
Yeah. The defense of the Patriots, though, is pretty legit.
The Jets put 20 on them, didn't they?
Yeah, that's pretty good going.
The Jets are horrific.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm just thinking an early Christmas present. I'm putting it out. I'm putting my plums out there. I've got $4.
I love it. I think it's great. They have shown signs of improvement, the Giants.
Okay?
They've shown signs of improvement. Yes, absolutely. They are.
I took Amon Ra's
Well, I said
comments seriously last week.
I walked in here thinking this definitely could be an upset. If Dart's back, it's an extra threat, I think. And the defense, I'm still nervous about the defense for the Giants. They still gave up 34. Let's face it.
27.
Yeah, but okay,
Overtime.
you still got to play though.
Well, Jameer Gibbs is the reason. Some of the blocking schemes that you'll see when
I know
they run
Detroit's stuff has
Amon
worked.
Ra,
It's perfect.
he comes down, then he runs through the
unreal.
B gap
Yeah,
and
it's
then gets a
unreal.
play action catch.
Yeah,
But
it's
then he does the same thing, comes back out, blocks.
Yeah. It's unreal.
That's around Penei Sewell.
No doubt.
They ain't gonna have that.
I can definitely agree with that. There's no doubt in my mind. Hey, I'm saying that there's definitely a chance. There's definitely a chance here. But yeah, I mean,
Well, I think we need a early Christmas present.
Yeah, I
Let's
like
put it out there. Let's put it out there.
Minus 2 degrees there.
It's cold, man. It's cold. Can the Giants,
Which makes it even more of a case that it could be a bit of an upset.
if Dart starts,
And the Patriots started pretty slow last week and only just got going against the Bengals as well.
big game, big game. Put it this way, big game for the
I'm glad you're putting your
Patriots.
plums on the line. It's great.
This is Patriots going 11-2 pisses me off.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to put my
It's
plums
good.
on the
I
line.
like it.
I feel like we're going to have all our Thanksgiving specials up. We're going to have our best bets up. This will be a prime time special. I'm going to put my plums on the line. If Dart starts, I'll be even more excited because he is efficient on offense.
Mm-hmm.
And that defense is getting better. Hey, this is all we've got for the show. It's been a cracker sip. To recap the whole show, Thanksgiving started with Detroit. Sip played there. We've cooked up a 6 turkey leg special on the PointsBet app. We are powered by PointsBet, of course, who are built differently. And so is that 6-leg multi that we built last night. Chiefs, Cowboys, honestly, cracker. And then Bengals, Ravens. I'll be very, you know what? The fact that they're not really going would make me even angrier if they lost that game. And then we move on to your boys Saturday morning, taking on the Bears. And then the game that we have, all the other games we have this week. The main one, I would say, AFC South, Colts, Texans, Jags, Titans. Massive implications there because if the Falcons beat the Jets, the Falcons also go 5-7 in their division, and then the Colts, Texans, Titans, Jags, like that AFC South division becomes just Christmas late in the year. And if the Texans are on the charge, good luck because if they can stop the Colts offense, they can stop anyone. Is there anything else that we're missing?
Oh, the other big game, I'd still say the Steelers and the Bills is set up to be a really good game. That's got some complications there. So that should be an absolute ripper. But just a reminder to everybody, tomorrow, 3 massive games, 5 a.m., all right? First game's at 5 a.m., 8:30, and then the 12:20 game. So don't miss out. Absolute cracking games coming up. And it should be all set for a very, very special Thanksgiving.
And we'll be eating turkey leg sip
Absolutely.
amongst a few other weapons at an event the NFL has kindly invited us to. And we're going to cover it. Morgan's going to come there and film it all so you can all come along the journey with us. I can't wait. This is getting better and better. So to everyone that tunes into the show, we appreciate your support. And if we can get this 6-legger up, it'll be your shout, and we'll be putting a little bit on the Giants for a little bit of a laugh. All right, that's all I got. See you next week. Cheers.
You got hands like buckets.
The NBA is back. And to celebrate at PointsBet, place a head-to-head bet on the Lakers versus Warriors. And if your team scores the first basket, you win. That's right. Your team scores first, get paid out early. See your account for personalised max stake limit. PointsBet. It's like hot sauce, but for basketball. Yeah, that's built different.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.